How's it going, guys? Gaming Goddess here with a review on the supernatural adventure game Oxenfree. Developed and published by Night School Studio, Oxenfree is a story-driven game giving the player the option of choice. With this interesting story and unique gameplay, I had to check it out for myself. So with that being said, let's get right into the review. The player takes on the role of a teenage girl named Alex who is hanging out with her new stepbrother Jonas, her best friend Ren, Nona, and Clarissa on a mysterious island that used to be a military base. With the power of radio frequencies, they release something strange onto the island, which leads to a whole lot of paranormal activity, and it's up to Alex to save her friends. Oxenfree is an adventure-style game built around a walk-and-talk type of mechanic. Basically, the game doesn't feature any cutscenes, but we do have about 2 to 3 dialogue options that appear above Alex's head. This is where we can choose one of the dialogue options or say nothing at all. In my experience, I did find that the options fade fairly quickly, so you aren't really given too much time to think about what you want to choose or what you want to say. Either way, the player's choice will result in a change of relationships between the main character and her friends. While exploring, the player will be able to interact with some of the objects. To indicate these objects, the game will have a small circle next to the thing you can interact with. Aside from that, the player will also have some puzzle solving they will need to do in order to progress the game. Puzzles include tuning the radio to the right frequency and winding the tape recorders at the correct speed. Oxenfree doesn't have a game over screen, but it does feature a few different endings and outcomes since we are given the option of choice. So just remember that every choice you make will determine a different outcome for the characters. I personally think this gives the game a good amount of replay value, especially if you want to try to get everyone to hate you or like you. Now let's take a look at the game's graphics and audio. Oxenfree features a 2.5D perspective, giving the player 3D characters and a 2D environment. The way this game looks is really something else entirely, as I like how the game combines the darker colors with the bright geometric design, giving it a creepy vibe but still not washing out the color. As for the audio, the game is dialogue heavy, so it is fully voiced. Oxenfree offers a good soundtrack when there's music in the background, nice spooky ambient noise, and the obnoxious radio static. Now let's take a look at some pros and cons based on my opinion and personal experience with this game. First, the pros would include a good story. I like watching the events unfold and how the relationships can change just based on my dialogue option. The fact that we are given a choice, this allows for multiple playthroughs because of the different results you can get, and it has a good creepy feel to it. This game is an adventure game, but I really enjoy the subtle horror elements, making it a nice spooky game without the stupid jump scares. As for the cons, I personally struggled with the radio as I didn't know how to use it or what I was supposed to do with it. I spent a good 30 to 40 minutes trying to figure it out, searching for the frequencies, but they are distinguished by color. The static or beeping noises can also be quite annoying, or at least it was in my case because of how long it took me to figure out the radio. Oxenfree is different from my usual genre of games I play, as I tend to do a lot of JRPG stuff, but since I started streaming, I've been able to experience a variety of genres. Like I said previously, Oxenfree offers the player choice, so it's definitely interesting to see the different outcomes for the end result, and the best part is the game really makes you feel like your choices matter. During my first playthrough of the game, I wasn't into one character in particular, so when faced with the option, I wanted to get rid of her, only to feel bad about it later. On the bright side, this game isn't too long either, as I only invested 5 hours in my first run. So if you're looking for something different with a whole lot of dialogue but you don't want the visual novel style of game, I highly recommend Oxenfree, as I give this game an overall rating of 8.5 out of 10. It can be a bit confusing at first, or at least it was for me, but once you get into it, it's hard to stop playing. I was so invested, I just wanted to find out how the game was going to end based on my decisions alone. So, if you like this video, leave a like. Feel free to comment your thoughts and opinions down below as well. All of my links are in the description. So with that being said, this has been a Gaming Goddess review. And remember to keep on gaming.